Welcome to Good to Know, Pinellas County's presentations on programs and services provided by your county. I'm your host, Irina Milasinovic of Pinellas County Communications Department. St. Pete Clearwater International Airport is a commercial airport serving domestic and international destinations. It is considered to be Tampa Bay's most convenient gateway to and from St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and Pinellas County's famous beaches. Known for its new slogan, Tampa Bay, the easy way, St. Pete Clearwater Airport offers non-stop, low-cost airlines and is conveniently located. We are here at the terminal of St. Pete Clearwater International Airport with Noah Lagos, Airport Director. Welcome, Noah.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So the airport went through the whole new rebranding, and we have a new slogan and the new logo. Tell us, what does that mean to the airport and the community?
Well, first of all, we went through about a $22 million renovation of the terminal in June of 2010. And as you look around you, you can see the colors inside the terminal mirror the colors of our destination, the beautiful sand in the waters. And as part of our growth, we thought that the next piece of change needed to update a slogan and a logo that dates back to the mid-70s. And we get feedback from our customers that say, you know, we really like using that airport. It's so easy. I mean, you park out front, you walk inside, you get your ticket, and you go right through security, you sit down, and then you get on a plane. So, you know, as we try to characterize who we are and what we have to sell, we sell the destination of the greater Tampa Bay Airport, but particularly the beaches of Pinellas County. And we sell it in a way that's easy. So you come to a slogan that frankly was easy to create, and that's Tampa Bay the easy way.
And tell us, how was the feedback from the community?
You know, I was so glad to get so much positive feedback, not only from the community leaders, and I've heard from community leaders in St. Pete and Pinellas County and the cities, and also from the traveling public, that they love the new logo, they love the colors, and we also installed new signage out front. We call them monument signs. And people are just raving about this whole program.
And you said that the airport went through renovations of the terminal in 2010. What is next on the horizon for the airport?
Well, right now we have a two-phase program. You know, it'd be nice if we could build things all at one time. But the airport has no debt. And so we have a pay-as-you-go philosophy. So it's not really much different than somebody owns a home, and you know, this year you can afford to redo a bedroom, and then next year you're going to redo the air conditioning system and so on a much larger scale. That is the way we continue to grow the terminal and make the changes necessary, not only to provide better services for the traveling public, but to also replace aging infrastructure and lower our operating costs. So what's on the horizon that the public is going to see is they're going to see new monitors all over the terminal, and we call them flight information display monitors. Those are the monitors that you see that tell you when your flight's supposed to arrive or when your flight is supposed to depart. And we're also going to put in a whole new paging system so that folks that are hearing impaired will be able to see visually pages on a screen. The cost of that system can be as much as about $800,000. The rest of the improvements are things that the public won't see, but they lower our operating costs and actually will make the terminal more comfortable for everyday use. And that is that we put in a chiller plant in June of 2010 that was capable of providing cooling for the whole terminal, but it wasn't hooked up to the whole terminal because we couldn't afford it. So the next step is that that chiller plant will come online and service the whole terminal. And there are other things that are involved in this renovation project, which is small. It's about $4.6 million. And then in a couple of years, what we're looking at is we're sitting right now in gates 2 through 6. Gates 2 through 6 hold room was expanded from about 325 seats to 450 seats as part of this renovation with amenities that didn't exist before. We want to replicate expansion in what I'll call another concourse, gates 7 through 10. And part of that particular area dates back to the time when there were propeller aircraft. And you only sat 50 or 60 people. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do what's called bump out. And all we're going to do is bump out the size of the hold rooms and make them much larger, increase the size of the checkpoint, and then perhaps have new concession facilities.
And you said that you're increasing the facilities. The numbers have also been increased in the last 3 months. Tell us, how does that, what is next for the airport in terms of the numbers? Or anything else on the horizon?
It kind of is a trailer to what we just talked about. What's driving the need to expand the hold rooms in the second concourse is the growth of Allegiant. And so we have to proactively plan to meet the growth in order to continue to provide a high level of customer service. Allegiant's growth this year is primarily driven by the increase in the size of their planes. Their planes used to seat 150 people. They invested about $1 million per plane to increase the seating to 166 seats. So you see a capacity increase already in the aircraft that they have here based upon those new seats. And what's really interesting about our market is they absorb those seats almost immediately. Allegiant enjoys at least a 90% load factor. So that means for every 10 seats, they sell 9. That's very unusual in the airline industry to have that high of a number of seats sold versus the number of seats empty. And it's not uncommon that you'll see their planes fully booked, particularly in the heart of tourism season. So this year, in May, we saw a 28% increase over May a year ago. In June, it was 21% and so on. We expect that by the end of the year, we're going to serve over 1 million passengers. Now, we served roughly around 865,000 passengers in calendar year 13. So we're on the way up. Year to date, we've seen an increase of 15% over a year ago. Allegiant just announced 6 new cities. That's a big announcement. We announced 2 cities this past year, Harrisburg and Asheville. And to have 6 new cities announced all at one time to begin service on or about the 1st of November this year, that's really big for this airport. And that's going to fuel future growth. And I really think that what you're going to see is this kind of continued surge year by year. Allegiant's buying new planes. They're buying planes that seat about 177 people. When those planes come online, they've shared with us that several of those planes are coming here.
And one of the most important awards would be the award that you received for Federal Aviation Administration. That is 9 consecutive years. How is that accomplished?
Well, the award that we received was based upon safety in a specific number of our projects. And that had to do with how well we managed airfield projects without having any safety-related incidents. When you operate an airport, the most important thing that you do is to make sure that you operate a facility that is safe. And the no discrepancies on this report means that we got an A+ on our report card for operating safely. Every year we get inspected by the FAA, and there are certain criteria that we have to meet in their inspection. They're here for 2 or 3 days doing this. And they do everything from training records to our firefighters to time response times to how long it takes to get a fire truck to the midpoint of the farthest runway. We always beat it. And in fact, this past year, they were so impressed with how we do the keeping of our training records that they're using that as a model for other airports. So we're really proud of the recognition that we have received by the FAA for the high marks of safety that this airport enjoys.
And speaking of proud, the airport is also known for doing honor flights. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that is such a joy. The honor flights take World War II vets and bring them to Washington, and they are able to visit monuments that honor vets who have died in service. And these folks are in their late 80s and 90s, these veterans who fought in the Second World War. I can tell you, it brings tears to your eyes when you are there and you see the veterans come back, many in wheelchairs, and just talk about the quality of the experience that they had. We are truly honored to be able to be part of their experience. And it goes beyond just giving a place for this type of event to happen, because it's a community happening. And so you get the Boy Scouts, you get veterans group, you get 3-star generals come out. There is one general that has come out to every honor flight that shakes the hand of every veteran who got off that plane. And so our involvement with the Honor Flight program is continuing, and it will continue. And it is our distinct pleasure and honor on behalf of Pinellas County to be their host airport.
That is amazing. And before we conclude, what are you looking forward to the most?
You know, I'm looking forward the most to the excitement of seeing more people in the terminal, offering new opportunities for travel, not only to come and visit the beaches, but for our Tampa Bay community to be able to fly to destinations that they want to go to. I'm very excited about all the 6 cities. 2 of the cities are really large metropolitan areas. Syracuse and Stuart Newburgh is about an hour-and-a-half drive outside New York City. And longer term, I'm just such an optimist that this airport is going to continue to grow and continue to be a favorite with the overall traveling public.
Thank you, Noah. I wish you all the success.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to join you today.
Thank you. If you would like more information, visit www.pinellascounty.org/eSeries. If you would like more information on St. Pete Clearwater International Airport, visit the airport's homepage at www.fly2pi.com. And if you have any questions about today's topic, be sure to email them to communications-media1@pinellascounty.org, and we will get back with you. Join us again for the next Good to Know right here on PCC TV.